this, and we're pretty really close to being done with the book. So yeah, another heads up, I just got my puppy Freya some new toys, so she's over there on the bed chewing them up, so I hope you don't hear that. This microphone is pretty good at only picking up the close sound, so I hope that you can't hear too much, but if you do, that is what's going on in the background. So I'm really sorry if that bothers you in any way, but we're gonna get into the video now. So let's see where we are. Alright, we are on chapter 56. It's called Billy, Don't Lose My Number. Billy, don't lose my number. Is that how it goes? Is it actually Billy? I don't know. Okay. One day, not too long after my arrest, Billy Rausch called me on my cell phone. This was the first time I'd spoken to him. He had ignored my emails and phone messages for years. "Thank you for calling me, Billy," I said. "It's Bill," he replied. "Bill, don't call me Billy." He had called to ask me to delete a photograph I had posted on the blog. His wife appeared in the picture, and he didn't want her to be identifiable to any of the weirdos who browsed my articles. "I'll delete it today," I said. "Good, thank you. I have so many questions, Bill. Can you please just talk to me for a few minutes?" He sighed. "Yeah, alright, go ahead. How did you and Maura meet?" Bill laughed. It was an ironic laugh. She got an honor code violation at West Point, he said. She stole a granola bar from a store. There were other problems too. Anyway, that's how I met her. At the time, Bill served as a cadet liaison to the West Point adjudicators. Though he never worked on Maura's case, he was struck by her beauty, regardless of her troubles. They started dating. He wanted to clear up a couple of points now that we were talking. He said that Fred never tried to keep him from talking to me, and, as far as he knows, never told Maura's friends to keep quiet either. Whatever else happened that last weekend, Fred was definitely helping Maura find a new car, he explained, adding that they had visited the same dealership where he had purchased his own car. Bill also said that the party Maura had gone to the night she crashed Fred's car was held off campus, even though Kate had told me on more than one occasion that it was held in Sarah's dorm room. One more thing, that email that was on top of Maura's boxes. Bill confirmed that it had to do with him seeing another woman, but that it was a bit more complicated than the police let on. The email was about a girl I was dating at the time I met Maura, he said. We had broken up, Maura and I saw this other woman again. We were broken up at the time, though. Bill said he didn't know about Maura's affair with her track coach and that she had never spoken about running away. Then again, Maura never told him about her pending fraud charges either. Clearly, I didn't know her as well as I thought I did. Later, Bill shared some more stories in a series of emails. "I'm trusting you with these memories and hope that you can put them to good use," he wrote. When he was in high school, Bill ran cross country and track, but it wasn't a passion. For Maura, it clearly was. Her time running was special for her, a sacred time. She also loved a good cup of coffee, and so did I. We enjoyed seeking out local coffee shops when we were together and spent a lot of time reading and talking over coffee mind was very good at explaining complex issues in a very simple and effective way. I could tell that Bill was hurting. When I spoke to him, there was a resignation in his voice that sounded hollow and worn. In the span of a few years, he had lost his girlfriend and his sister. He had served in Iraq, and somehow he'd come out the other side and built a new family. I understood now why he wanted to distance himself from all this. It's not my place, and you've dealt with more than I have, I told him. You have someone you can talk to. His sigh was audible. Yes, I do. Thanks for your concern. We left it at that. Chapter 57. Closure is for doors. I do these library gigs. I stand in front of a room full of people and talk about true crimes or tell scary stories for an hour, and they pay me $200. I have a PowerPoint about the Lisa Pruitt murder, complete with autopsy photographs. Usually, though, they want me to talk about Amy Malshevik, and that's what I did one night at the Grafton Public Library, a 40-minute drive west of Cleveland. I read from the first chapter of my book on Amy's case, which begins, I fell in love with Amy Malshevik not long before her body was discovered, lying face down in an Ashland County wheat field. I'd given this talk about 50 times before, but something felt different that night. Maybe it was the fact that the room was filled to capacity for once. I found a little extra oomph, a bit more bang-pow. It was going so well, I decided to tell a story about the case that I'd never shared in public before. I wanted to tell you about what happened to me in Key West, I began. Amy's photo, that one with the side saddle ponytail, was projected on the wall behind me. This was in 2008, and a retired FBI agent had just told me he believed that Dean Runkle, a former middle school teacher, was the best suspect the police had ever found. Runkle was a science teacher in Amherst. That's Amherst, Ohio, not Massachusetts. He kept a menagerie in his classroom, terrariums of snakes and large tanks full of tropical fish. He kept a human skeleton in his closet that he said was a young girl he disliked. Not a good joke, dude. Really not a good joke. I hope it's a joke at least. The FBI had discovered love letters he'd written to a former middle school student. Great. I was told by the principal that Runkle was investigated twice for relationships with his prepubescent students. Oh, and a witness to Amy's abduction picked Runkle's photograph out of a lineup of 30 men. She's very much enjoying her toy, apparently. I really hope you We spoke. He didn't admit anything, but he said there were things in his life he couldn't remember. I took his picture, and then I left. When I finished telling my story, a woman came up to me and gave me a hug. I stayed and signed books for a bit, and that's when I noticed the man in the back of the room. He looked oddly familiar. It was Mark Malshevik, Amy's father. I ended up at his house that night, and he microwaved me a hamburger. We sat at his kitchen table and ate burgers and talked about a lot of things, but not about his daughter. There is a happier parallel universe, I am fairly certain, in which this man is my father-in-law. That's so cute and sad. This girl is being so loud right now. It's not even funny. She's lucky I love her so much. I sat with my sister Barb at the back of Judge Daniel Gall's courtroom and watched as a man was sent to prison. The Lakewood police had helped my sister with her stalker situation and told the dog catcher to never go near her again, but he was never charged. She's less trusting now, and that's sad. Still, it could have been worse. My lawyer escorted me to the desk in front of the judge. Gall was a skinny fellow in a black robe, and his eyes had this amused look. I think he was amused by me. "What in the world happened?" he asked. I told him my story, such as it was. I shrugged. It all happened in the span of 30 seconds. I can't explain why I acted the way I did. I looked at your history. You also have, 11 tickets, speeding tickets. That, to me, suggests manic episodes. You seeing a psychologist? Yes. On medication? Yes. Judge Gall nodded. You have to stop this behavior. Eventually you're going to knock on someone's door or anger the wrong man, and you're going to get yourself killed. You know that, right? You keep this up and someone will pull a gun on you and kill you. I know. So stop. Yes, sir. The felony assault charge didn't stick. The witness from the hallway who saw the cop throw me against the wall signed an affidavit stating that the police officer was the one who instigated the fight. The courtroom video backed us up too. I ended up pleading to a misdemeanor charge of attempted resisting arrest, whatever that means. The judge waived all fines and sentenced me to 6 months probation. Later that day, Ariel Castro wrapped a bedsheet around his neck and committed suicide in his cell. I had a book signing in Bedford. I was at a booth in the city square, and the signing was part of the city's annual Elf Festival. A man came by and we struck up a conversation. It turned out he was a retired ranger for the Metro Parks. I decided to tell him about the time I was nearly abducted from the woods on Memphis by the kiddie park. His eyes grew wide. I could tell I had upset him. You ever looked into the former director of the Metro Parks? He asked me. For what? Just do yourself a favor and check it out. I did. When I got home, I pulled him up on Google. The former director's name was Vern Hartenberg. Soon as I saw his picture, I knew. This was my boogeyman. The guy from the park that day who had chased me into the woods and down the railroad tracks. Hartenberg had been arrested for exposing himself in the Metro Parks. To be specific, he was arrested at the park on Memphis Avenue, the same small park where he'd chased after me in 1991. The Metro Parks are publicly funded. As such, they are subject to public records requests. I pulled Hartenberg's personal file, not sure what I was looking for. Did I expect to find a handwritten note? Hey, I just want to let you guys know that I once tried to snatch a kid in the park. Turned out, Hartenberg suffered a nervous breakdown and checked himself into a psych ward years ago. He had to request a leave of absence from the Metro Parks shook his head, said he didn't know anything about it. Then he told me a story about how he was sexually assaulted as a kid and how he had been raped for years. It was that abuse that compelled him to act out later, he explained. I'm sorry for what I've done. I asked him why, of all the moments in his life, he decided to have himself committed to a mental hospital just days after Amy Malshevik was abducted. That was a hell of a coincidence, I said. Hartenberg shrugged. It was just when all that abuse caught up with me, he said. I drove away, more confused than ever. Only one man abducted Amy, and yet there were so many likely suspects in the case. What did that say about the world? What sense does any of it make? Chapter 58. Failed Tests. At the start of every year, my wife's school offers enrichment programs for teachers, short presentations in the multipurpose room that are meant to pep everyone up for the new semester. Sometimes the speakers test the teachers with logic puzzles or riddles as a way to improve their attention skills. In the fall of 2013, one of the presenters posed a riddle meant to identify potential psychopaths. It was a funny exercise, or meant to be. Julie came home at the end of the day wanting to share. She was curious to see how quickly I would solve it, or maybe to see if I could solve it at all. Here's the gist. A single man attends his mother's funeral. During the wake, he meets a fantastic young woman and falls madly in love, but he forgets her name and nobody he talks to afterward can identify her. How does he track her down? He kills his father, I said, without missing a beat. She'll probably come to his funeral, too. Julie's expression changed from jovial to shocked. Jesus, she said. I'd thought you figured it out, but that was so quick. That's how your mind works. I mean, that didn't even enter my mind at all. You got it right away. Sorry, I said. She shivered. When I finished the first draft of this book, I found some holes in my reporting that needed filling. I'd never gotten much on Butch Atwood, the guy who'd last spoken to Maura Murray on Wild Emanusik Road. After some digging, I tracked down his widow. She was living in Florida. Her name is Barbara. She married Butch in 1993, and they lived together in the house near the crash site with his mother, Violet. He may have been a big, scary-looking man, but he was a soft mark, she said. Butch cried when their Springer Spaniel died. He liked to hunt, fish, and ride his motorcycle when the weather was clear. Their lives changed forever the night that Maura wrecked her car. He asked Maura if she was okay, she explained. He offered to call the police to help her